rights, but cares more about her status, cares more about being a senator, cares more about fooling just enough Democratic voters in her state to vote for her. Clearly, that's what's going on here with both Collins and Murkowski. So first, let me show you this incredible mashup here of Susan Collins claiming that the Supreme Court picks that she's voting for, that they will not overturn Roe v. Wade.
I do not believe that Brett Kavanaugh will overturn Roe.
Precedents are overturned.
He noted that Roe had been reaffirmed 19 years later by Planned Parenthood versus Casey, and that it was precedent on precedent. He said it should be extremely rare that it be overturned, and it should be an example.
So you have obviously full confidence.
I do. We talked about whether he considered Roe to be settled law. He said that he agreed with what Justice Roberts said at his nomination hearing, in which he said that it was settled law. I could not vote for a judge who had demonstrated hostility to Roe v. Wade because it would indicate a lack of respect for precedent. What Judge Kavanaugh told me, and he's the first Supreme Court nominee that I've interviewed out of 6 who has told me this, is that he views precedent not just as a legal doctrine, but as rooted in our Constitution. And he reveres our Constitution. I asked him, is it sufficient if 5 current sitting justices believe that Roe should be overturned? And he said no. I would not support a nominee who demonstrated hostility to Roe v. Wade, because that would mean to me that their judicial philosophy did not include a respect for established decision. Judge Kavanaugh is the first Supreme Court nominee to express the view that precedent is not merely a practice and tradition, but rooted in Article 3 of our Constitution itself. I will vote to confirm Judge Kavanaugh.
So there you go. A supercut there of Collins being full of shit. Now, I want to show you, before I get to Murkowski, I want to show you this incredible mashup of these conservative justices claiming, while they are being questioned, claiming that they will not overturn Roe v. Wade.
It was decided in 1973, so it's been on the books for a long time. It has been challenged on a number of occasions, and I discussed those yesterday, and the Supreme Court has reaffirmed the decision, sometimes on the merits, sometimes in Casey, based on stare decisis. And I think that when a decision is challenged and it is reaffirmed, that strengthens its value.
I would tell you that Roe versus Wade, decided in 1973, is a precedent in the United States Supreme Court. It has been reaffirmed, so a good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court, worthy as treatment of precedent like any other.
As a judge, it is an important precedent of the Supreme Court. By it, I mean Roe v. Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Been reaffirmed many times. Casey is precedent on precedent.
Roe is not a super precedent because calls for its overruling have never ceased, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Now, in defense of their obvious lying, they were never direct, simply saying things like, this is important precedent, it's been challenged, it's been reaffirmed, but at no point did they say that I will not overturn this. So, plausible deniability is they're out here. They can claim they never actually lied because they didn't really directly lie, even though clearly they're trying to push the idea that they are not going to overturn this, but they know why they were put there. They were put there partly to overturn this, and that's what they're going to do now. Now let's get to Murkowski, who was questioned today, and here's what she said.
Roe is still the law of the land. We don't know the direction that this decision may ultimately take, but if it goes in the direction that this leaked copy has indicated, I will just tell you that it rocks my confidence in the court right now.
Oh, really rocks her confidence. Rocks her confidence in the court. Now, you could say, well, she didn't vote for Kavanaugh, didn't support Kavanaugh, but she did support Amy Coney Barrett. As AOC writes here, Murkowski voted for Amy Coney Barrett when Trump himself proclaimed that he was appointing justices specifically to overturn Roe. She and Collins betrayed the nation's reproductive rights when they were singularly capable of stopping the slide. They don't get to play victim now. Dispel this idea of the Republican moderate. It's complete bullshit. These people are there saying these things simply to hold their position, regardless of their personal opinions, which may be in support of reproductive rights. Clearly, they care a lot more about their position in the Senate, their career, their status, than anything else.